coming down some.
Weird.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
I'm just letting it grow at this point. I'm just like
Are
letting
you?
it just. Yeah,
Are
yeah.
you?
I
Do
just keep.
you have like plans for it? Even let it get to a certain
Mm,
point and then.
yeah, yeah. I mean, eventually, eventually it's gonna be what it is because my hair is like really curly.
Mm-hmm.
So I just want to do this grow out. I just do braids and stuff. I don't think I want locks. At least I don't think I do. But for now, I just want to grow. I just want to stay committed to the growth
Yeah.
process.
I can see you with lots.
You think so?
Yeah.
Hmm. Well, we'll see. We'll see what the future holds.
Shoot. Play it right here.
Yeah, play it by ear. Yeah, let's give it a couple years.
Right.
Well, we're back. We are live in effect. We are welcome back to another present. Welcome back to the present. Welcome back to another present. That'll work. Welcome back to present with Paulizè and Lisha. I'm
Yeah.
Paulizè,
I'm Lisha.
and we are back. We are live. We're committed. You know what? First off, I want to give you your kudos for being committed to this whole process because I'm not gonna lie. Everything that you've gone through just in the past day, a few days, was valid. Like you could have easily said, like, man, let's just hold off until next Saturday or whatever the case may be, right?
Yeah.
But you stay committed and you stay consistent, and for that, I
Thank
just
you.
want to give you your props.
Thank you. 'Cause in my mind, I was like, I'm so tired. Like, I can't. I just need a little more time. And I was like, no, Alicia, you need to do this. You've made a commitment, so you need to hold it. So,
Hmm,
me holding myself accountable. So,
that's
here we are.
awesome.
Here we
Here
are.
we are. Here we are. Accountability. How important do you present? How important do you think accountability is?
Oh, it's so important. Like,
Mhm.
can you hear me? Is this loud enough?
Yeah, I can hear you.
It's so important. Like, in every aspect of life. That's so funny. That's the first thing I wrote down. Accountability. Why are we like this?
I don't know, bro. This shit is weird.
That is so funny. But yes, but also because it's so important. If you're going through life and you're learning and you're progressing, you know that accountability is like, it's up there on the list of things that you need to be doing and um, learning. Accountability is what's going to get you from point A to point B to point C. By holding yourself accountable, what am I doing? What did I say I was going to do? Am I doing that? No. Why? Let's figure out why. What will make me do the things that I said I was going to do? So, yeah,
Mm,
accountability is going to be crucial along the way, no matter what you're doing.
mm. Nah, facts. I will say though, along with being accountable, I think it's important to create proper habits too.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I think that's so important because it's I think it's hard to be accountable when you don't have the proper habits, right?
Right.
Because accountability is just a reflection of the habits that you're doing on a continuous basis or whatever that you've accumulated over your course of living, right?
Yep.
And I feel like, and I talked about this too before, right? And I feel like creating the habits first is what creates a ritual which you continuously do. And whenever you fall off of that ritual, that's when the accountability comes in because it doesn't feel right when you're not doing that habit that you've been practicing over and over and over again.
Yep.
Like with these lives, like we've been doing them just about every single Saturday, right? Around similar time.
Yeah.
And it's almost to the point where it doesn't feel normal if every Saturday passes and it's like, this is a part of the ritual now. So
Yeah.
it's like it has to be done. And that's the where the accountability comes in.
Facts, 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 facts. That's
Yeah.
with the little habits because people. So I've lost a lot of. I won't say a lot of weight. I've lost weight within the past like what 7 months, 8 months. Um, and people are like, "What are you doing? What have you done? Like you've lost weight. You look good." And I'm like, honestly, do a little this, a little that. It's like I did this, but it wasn't like this big thing that I did. But I did like tiny things along the way that all added up to be the one thing that I wanted to do, was which was take care of myself. So it
Mm,
was me holding myself accountable in all these different areas. And then the results came at the end. I didn't even honestly didn't even really realize it until people started noticing. And I was like, oh yeah, I guess the things I've been doing have been going well, because look where I'm
mm,
at. I've lost weight. I'm feeling better. I'm doing better. And so that accountability mixed with the little habits, like you said, makes it makes all the difference in the world. It makes it that much easier to get to where you want to be, because now instead of focusing on the big leap that you're going to take, you're like, okay, well, this step requires this, this next step requires this, and you're just taking those small steps and holding yourself accountable in those smaller moments, and then
mm,
you get to the big goal at the end, if that makes sense. So that's really
mm.
interesting that we're having that conversation, because this past week I've had that conversation so many times, and I'm like, did a little this, did a little that, and stayed consistent
Yeah,
with that, and here I am.
that's it. I
That's
mean, there's
it.
really no big secret. It's
It's
just
simple.
that's it. I feel like we make such a big deal over the little things, but I understand the things that we perceive as little things, people will see as like gigantic. Like, damn, how do you do
Exactly. Exactly. But then that comes with taking those little steps, and you look back and you're like, oh, that was kind of simple because you did it. It doesn't look that way until you actually do it. So you have to
that?
take that first step for it to then become simple.
Facts. So would it be safe to say that it takes intention, right? I think it takes intention to really get the process, the rewards or of the process that you're going through,
Oh, for sure.
right?
For sure.
So yeah, go ahead, expound on that.
So yeah, intentionally. So I feel like at first I had to hold myself accountable. Where do I want to be? Okay, what's stopping me from getting there, or how do I get there? Okay, little changes. What little changes am I willing to make at this moment? And then as I'm going along, what other changes am I able to make? And that intentionality comes in with, okay, is this going along with that big goal? Is this going against that big goal? Is this what I'm saying and doing going with or against what I'm wanting to do? So it's being very intentional about what I'm thinking, what I'm saying, what I'm doing. Um, am I writing? Am I doing the things that make me feel good along the way, so that I don't crash and burn and just say, oh,
Mm,
fuck it, I'm not doing any of this because it's too hard? No.
mm,
Tired, you take a little break, you get right back to it. So taking care of yourself and being intentional with the things that you're doing on a daily basis, not just every now and then when I'm feeling it. It's like, no, you have to get up and make yourself do it, so that it becomes a habit, so that you're doing it on a regular basis and creating those
mm,
intentional habits, not just habits, not just holding yourself accountable. Intentional accountability, intentional habits creates progress. Period.
mm.
Period.
Bars, bars. Hey, that's a clip right there.
Right?
Attention. That's it. That's
Intentional
it.
habits, intentional accountability.
While you write that down, I really like that because I had a moment like that this morning too, right?
Hmm.
And I had to really get back into my process in order to really get back into the momentum of creating the things that I've been creating.
Hmm.
So, I don't know why or where it came from, but I just some days you wake up and you just don't feel motivated or you don't feel excited and things like that. And so it's like, okay, whenever I feel those things, those feelings or whatever, I always ask myself, okay, what can I do right now to create the traction to put me in the on the right path?
Hmm.
And so I just fell back to my rituals, to my habits, to what I did on a daily basis. I would wake up, I would read, I would meditate, I'll journal, I'll listen to some sort of audio, I would get some sort of education, right, within me. And that would always put me back on in a balanced position, right? It would always put me back on my square. So the little things mean so much, and I feel like we get so blindsided by the bigger picture
Yep.
because you can see. what it is that we're doing, and you can get the visualization of what it can be or what it will be in the future. But it can be discouraging too at the same time, because you're looking at the bigger picture and you're not looking at, okay, these are the steps to get us to that bigger vision.
Mm.
So what you said is so important. Those little things truly matter. The little things truly count.
Yep.
And being intentional is so important too. I kind of want to talk about the intentional work too, because that was something that really struck a nerve with me this week, right?
Mhm.
So I feel like a lot of us get so caught up in doing the hard work that we fall in love with the work itself and not the results that we're getting from the work that we're doing, right?
Yes.
And I got this idea from something that I was watching. There was a guy, he was basically talking about how he would get on coaching calls with his coach, and he would just talk about all the great things he was doing and all the hard work and how much sleep he wasn't getting and stuff like that. And he was looking for validation for the hard work that he was putting in. But his coach went on to ask him, well, did you make any money today? Or did you get any result today? And he was like, nah, but look at all the work I've been doing. And he was like, well, it doesn't really matter about all the work that you're doing if it's not yielding you a result.
Mhm.
So I like what you said about being intentional, because that's really what it is. Like, I feel like once you get the habits down, the work
Mhm.
that you do, it becomes easy. And other people will see that and they'll be wondering, like, how do you do that? Right? How do you get these results? And it seems like you're not doing anything to get these results.
Yeah.
Well, it's because of the habits that I've been putting in, I've
Right.
been working on. It's because I don't get blindsided by other people's progress, and I don't get blindsided by the work that I'm doing and just falling in love with the work, but I actually take score of everything that I am doing, right? I'm
Mhm.
actually in my process, and I'm eliminating things that don't necessarily help to evolve my process. So it's almost like a shedding that you're constantly doing. Like you'll do the work, and then you'll come to a point where, okay, what things do I need to eliminate in order to get some results, right? So it's like, okay, I don't need to do that no more. I don't need to do this no more. This is where I need to be focused on, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that comes with being present with yourself in the moment of your day to day life of, okay, this is what I'm going to do today. Does that align with what I'm wanting to do? Is it
Mhm.
necessary for me to continue to do this? Or is this hindering me in some way? Is this
Mhm.
taking me off the course that I want to be on a regular basis? So being present with yourself, along with the accountability and the intentionality, super important. You have to be with yourself in the moment to realize what you're doing. Otherwise, you're just going to keep doing the same thing you did yesterday, right?
Mhm.
And that's not going to be beneficial.
It's not. Do you do you ever find like do you ever have moments where it's like you're in a certain group setting and sometimes the energy can be a little overbearing and you know yourself? Do you ever find like where do you find time to like have time for yourself and then like giving your energy to others? Like where how do you balance that?
That's a really good question because I work with people like directly every day, multiple
Mm,
people every day. Um, man, just remembering to like breathe, just be present with myself. It's really, I don't know, I've been doing it for so long. I'm not perfect at it, of course, I'm human, but
mhm,
for the most part, like when I'm driving in my car, taking those moments, I'm not always listening to music, I'm not always listening to things. Sometimes I sit with myself in silence, breathing, focusing on, okay, how am I feeling? What's being processed in me right now? Is it something I need to deal with at this moment? Can I go see my next client? Are we good? It's a lot of checking in with yourself. If you don't know how to check in with yourself, you're gonna just be living in your
mhm,
subconscious, and that's you're just gonna keep doing the same things, like I said. And where does your progress come from if you're doing the same thing you did yesterday? Can't get too
mm,
far or continue to do the same thing. But for me, yeah, it's really checking in with myself and um, being honest. Like, hey, I'm not feeling really good right now. Maybe let's ask some questions. What's going on? Where is this stemming from? Where am I feeling it in my body? When did it start? have I felt this before? Um, and then using my supports around me. I'll text somebody quick and be like, I think I'm sad right now. Like, I don't know what's going on. But I have great supports that'll be like, okay, well, what's going on? Like, what have you been doing? Is it this? Is it that? So checking in with yourself, being honest, and using supports around you. Well, at least that's what works for me. Um,
mm,
Working with people and their traumas and stories and things, and then trying to balance my own life. It can be a lot sometimes. So making sure I'm present with myself, and my breathing
mm,
exercises definitely help for
mm.
sure. Box
That-
breathing,
that's-
favorite.
Box breathing?
Yeah.
What's that?
What? Okay, so it depends on your count. Some people would say four. I say five. So you
Mm,
breathe in all through your nose. So you breathe in for five, hold for five, out for five, hold for five, in for five, hold for five, and you just keep doing that, and it kind of
mm.
helps you just it just helps your mind just calm down.
Okay. I like that. I like that. I never heard it called that. I called it I have something like that. I call it
Yeah.
the 4-4-4 method.
Yeah. See, as I said, some people do it four, some people do it five. It all
Yeah.
depends. It's all different, but it's all the same.
Yeah. Yeah. That's tough. I like that though.
Yeah.
Um, One way that I typically take time for myself is like whenever I'm feeling anxious and I'm in a group setting, it happens, and I know that okay, I need to isolate. I need to
Yeah.
go and like recharge
Mhm.
because I'm not in a similar field as you, but I do have to look after a lot of people. You know, I have to be accountable. I have to make sure that I'm checking in with other people and making sure they're doing what they're supposed to do. Right?
Right.
I'm a leader in a sense.
Right.
So I'm making sure that everybody's doing what they're supposed to do and making sure that I'm the best example of what it is that you're supposed to be doing.
Right.
And so it can be tiresome. It can be sometimes because it's like some people just don't know how to do things or how to just take initiative. But still, nonetheless, it's all good because I like being that leader. I like giving guidance and understanding, towards
Right.
others. And so, honestly,
Somewhere.
yeah, I like to really just kind of go back and invert inward, right? I like to just go back within me and really just focus inward, like you said, and just really figure out, okay, how am I feeling right now? What's going on? Let's talk. Probably haven't talked in a while.
Oh
Me
my.
and my higher self. So I go and I do that. I go and inward and I talk with my inner being so I can get more clarity and understanding and really just
Yeah.
build up that energy so that way I can be able to pour back into others. And
Right.
I have my habits that I practice frequently. I'm making sure that I'm always learning or being a part of somebody else's group. Maybe they're learning similar things and things like that. Honestly, I'm just now getting into the space of having really good accountability partners because I've been on this journey like by myself for so long
Yeah.
that I just kind of cultivated a way of just recharging myself.
Hmm.
So I often, ask others advice and kind of get other people's opinions and things of that nature so that way I can better understand and grow and evolve. And that way I can recharge and then go back and do the work that I'm doing, right?
Right. Right.
So
Right. Right.
that's tough. That's tough. Check in with yourself. I
Check
like that.
in with yourself. It's really that simple.
Mm,
And be honest. I feel like people struggle with being honest with themselves too. I know we talked about that last time, but it kind of
mm,
goes in hand. Like you can check in, but are you being real with yourself? Like, are you letting your ego tell you what's going on, or are you being real about what is actually going on, what you're feeling, and why you're feeling it? So
mm. You know what?
important.
That reminds me. I was watching a video, right? And a person was saying like, being spiritual is not just about always focusing on the positive and just meditation and affirmations. It's really about going inward and focusing on the dark side of yourself, the side that people tend to ignore, and
Yeah.
just being honest with yourself. Like, it's okay if things aren't working out for you. It's okay if, because you know they will eventually, right? It's a cause and effect, right? It's like a pendulum. But it's okay to acknowledge the things that are happening to you in every single moment instead of just trying to deny them. Like you said, being honest with yourself. Like, be honest. The situation is kind of shitty.
This makes me sad.
Right.
I am upset right now. Like,
Exactly. Be real with it. But at the end of the day, you have the tools and everything that you need to work on and improve the situation that is going on around you right now. So it's okay, right? And that's just duality, right? That's understanding that, everything has a cause and effect, and then there's always two sides to everything as well. So I think that's important too.
exactly. No, you're exactly
But
right.
here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. And I kind of wanted to talk about this because I thought this is important.
Let's talk about it.
We have to divorce the struggle.
Like, oh, keep going.
We have to divorce the struggle
Hmm.
because it kind of goes back to what I said about the hard work thing. A lot of people feel like they need to go through a struggle in order for them to achieve success and greatness.
Hmm.
And I only say that because from what I've experienced, you see a bunch of different, like, you hear a bunch of different success stories. And it's always about how somebody came from nothing and then they rose up and they just achieved all of these great things.
Facts.
And a lot of people feel like if their story isn't about some sort of redemption or some sort of like, I
Come
went
back.
through this and that and I came up and da, 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 then they feel like they have no significance.
Mhm.
But if you're somebody who had resources and who had people who was there to help you along your journey, then tell that story because there are others that resonate with that. Like, I love your story because you've always had like things and resources and people to come around and help you to grow and evolve into the person that you are now.
Yes.
Um, and
And what's so
everybody.
crazy about that is I didn't always use them. So it was like, oh, it's just me. I can do it all myself. You don't have to do, hey, babe, you don't have to do that. It's not necessary. It's not necessary. You don't have to struggle.
Facts,
Not needed.
facts. So let me ask you this then: how does somebody go about the process of getting rid of the struggle in order to feel fulfilled? Like, how do
Oh,
you divorce that struggle?
I will forever tell people you got to go within. You have
Mm,
to go within. We have to stop. Let me go back. We have to learn how to stop thinking that the things outside of us are going to fulfill us. This is not
mm,
how it works. You're going to be unhappy. That's as simple as I can put it. You go within, you figure out why you're feeling the things that you feel. Why do you feel like it's necessary to struggle? You go back to your childhood, the way you were raised, the people around you. What are you listening to on a daily basis? Doing that shadow work. There's like a shadow work book that's going along TikTok. Fucking buy
yeah.
that. It's really annoying that I see it everywhere now, but I love it. Go buy it, I guess. Do your shadow work. Or you can just Google like things to do, whatever. But shadow work is so important. Go within, figure out what's going on with you, and then you it's almost like you open up and you're like, oh,
Mm,
all these opportunities and supports around me that I didn't even realize were there because I was looking for emotions and feelings outside of me that I can create on my own. But because I
mm,
was looking for them outside of me, I wasn't able to see what was actually there. I wasn't able to see the opportunities, the relationships, the networking things that I could have been accessing all this time because within me, I was looking for things that I can only get from myself. So
mm,
doing that inner work is going to be my biggest answer to that
mm,
every time, because that's really what it is for me. Not using the supports around me, it was all inner. No
mm,
one's there for me. I was doing this, and I need that, and no one's there. And well, how many people have you told you need help, babe? They're not. They can't help you.
mm.
They don't know. They have
Close
no
mouse
idea.
don't get fed.
Exactly. Exactly. So going
Mm,
within is going to be my short answer.
mm. And I will caveat on that too. On top of going within, I think we need to learn how to separate as well. Like,
Mhm.
we need to understand how to separate ourselves from these emotions that we're having and look at them for what they are, not
Exactly.
for what we perceive them to be.
Exactly.
And that that's kind of like that's shadow work. That's shadow work. That's a part of shadow work.
Yep.
But that takes a lot of practice and a lot of effort, a lot of intention, and a lot of discipline, because nobody is born, well, I'm not gonna say nobody, but a lot of us, majority, aren't born understanding our feelings and emotions
At
and
all.
understanding how to disconnect from those and really see them for what they are and then transmute and change those things, right?
Yeah.
That's just something that we learn over time. So, apart from doing the work, right? Apart from going within, you really have to separate yourself as well.
Mhm.
And it's not to say that you can't connect to your feelings or your emotions and just be like an emotionless puppet, but it's to say, okay, what is this feeling? Like you said it earlier, what is this feeling? Identify that feeling and figure out why you're feeling that way, and then transmute that feeling into something that is more beneficial rather than detrimental to you, because a
Mhm.
lot of us feel things on a daily basis. But I always say that feelings are just indicators of where you currently stand, right? Where
Mhm.
you are presently.
Yep.
So take that as a sign, letting you know, like, okay, this is where I am right now, but isn't where I'm going to be, right? For the rest of my life, for the rest of my
Right.
days, right?
Right. Right. Right.
That's powerful. That's powerful. I like what you said though earlier about having a network but not using it. I made a video not too long ago because it hit my spirit. And I was like, just accept the assistance. Like, accept the help. Accept it because it's there for you. It's not there to hinder you. And the reason why I say that is because there's a preconceived notion that the people that are there to help you are there to hold that help over you,
Mhm.
because they want to feel like, oh well, if it wasn't for me, you wouldn't be where you are, type thing, right? And
Mhm.
I feel like that's something that we got to let go of, because people are there to help us along our journey, whether it's for a good time, for a long time, or for a temporary time. There are people there and things there to help us to evolve and grow into the people that we see ourselves to be. So accept the help, accept the assistance. Like, even if there was a case where you accepted somebody's help and they may have not had the best intentions when they were helping you, that doesn't mean that that's everybody. You know what I
Exactly.
mean?
Yeah.
So, how do you go along with accepting the assistance? How do you go along accepting the assistance that is being provided to you and not look at it as something that is that's harmful or something that is going to be used against you one day? Go with it.
So this is a really hard one for me. Because for a very long time I was like, "Ah, I'll just work 2 jobs, I'll work 3 jobs, I'll do everything myself. It's fine. I got it." I was one of those people. Kind of probably
Mhm.
still am a little bit. Um, but I think the more that I've voiced myself and what I'm going through, the more that those around me are like, "Oh, well, hey, you seem you're a little overwhelmed. Let me do this." Or, "Here, can I help in this way?" Or like over the past, oh gosh, like couple weeks alone, it's just like I know things are always working out for me, like always. And so someone had broke into my car, and so they
Oh shit.
smashed my back window. Terrible time, like to wake up to. I have to go to work. Like, what is going on? And I had I don't want to say multiple, but I had people asking like, "Hey, can I help? Like, what can I do to help you?" And it was like, well, nothing for this very specific thing, like on this day. But the fact that people were so willing to help me, and actually, someone is did help me pay for it and get it fixed, and the person who fixed it did it. Like, and I'm just like, everything's always working out for me. And so, if that means it comes in the form of someone helping me with something I feel like I could have did myself, then so be it. Things are working out for me. It just so happened to be that the thing working out for me was someone else's assistance in whatever situation I'm going through. So that was just in the past week, but like over the past few months, it's like the more honest you are with the people around you, the more people can say, "Oh, well, hey, I see you're needing help here, or you need this. Let me help you." And just accepting that if things are always going to work out for you, that sometimes requires help outside of you to be
Mm,
let in so that you can continue going on with what you were doing. Maybe that problem wasn't for you to solve. It was for someone else to say, you know what? I feel like I should be doing more for someone else. And maybe I'm that person that they just happen to learn that lesson with. I have no idea, but things are always working out for me. So who am I to question it at this point?
mm,
So I just I've been learning to take things in a much more simple way that just makes it feel good. I don't know.
mm,
Things are working out for me. So who am I to question what's going on anymore?
mm. That's a fact.
You
That's
know,
a fact. Why question it when things are always working out for you?
why question it?
That's that's really good. That is really good. You know, I do this periodically where I'm always asking God or the universe like to send me a sign and let me know that I'm on the right path. And I got a powerful sign the other day. Not the other day. Was it Saturday? No, it was Wednesday before I got home. Yeah. It was Wednesday before I got home, right? I stopped by this shop. It's a
Hmm.
herb shop and they sell like a bunch of different things and it's
Hmm.
my favorite shop back home. And when I went there, I just went there to get 2 items. That's it. And I
Okay.
usually just sit there and I'll just chop it up with the guy there and stuff. And then some other people came in, some other characters came in too. And they were just there doing what they do. And there was just one guy. It was two guys, but this one guy came in first. And we were just talking. Well, he was talking, and then somehow or another we started in this conversation and we started talking about some deep things, and the conversation was literally we were literally talking about the exact same thing that I had learned that day. Like I was watching a video and I was learning about these different like laws and principles and stuff like that.
Hmm.
And he was literally talking about the same things. And I was just like, oh shit, that's the sign. And
Yeah.
I told him that. I was like, I always ask the universe for these signs, and then he puts me in rooms, and the conversation always pertains to just being on the right path and understanding who you are and things of that nature. So these are always comforting confirmations, letting me know that everything is always gonna work out no matter what. That's powerful.
That is powerful. Oh, I love it. I love those
Dang.
synchronistic moments.
Telling you, bro. It's funny because how do you even like, even when things aren't working, I feel like that's when things are really truly working.
That is one thing. Can you hear my dog? Sorry. Oh,
A little
really?
bit.
Okay. Um, yes. When it's a difficult moment, unfavorable is what I like to call it. When
Mm,
things are unfavorable, that's when I'm like, ooh, okay. Now it's time to roll with the punches.
mm,
We ride these waves and keep cool. Feel your emotions. If you just feel your emotions, like without all the deepness, digging into them, just feel them.
mm,
Don't add nothing to it. Don't take anything away from it. Just feel it. I am mad right now. Right now. I feel upset. Feel it. Let it go. Now we move on. Like, let's go. We
mm,
got stuff to do. Like, we don't have time to sit here and be mad. Like, that doesn't feel good. Let's
mm.
tell a joke, watch a video, make yourself laugh, smile, call a friend, something,
Facts.
meditate. Let's move on. Feel that feeling, move on, let it go. It has a purpose, let it go. It's
Mm.
not, it doesn't need to stay.
It doesn't.
It
It
doesn't.
doesn't.
And it's not helpful. It's not going to get me through this. Me being upset and sad all day because someone broke the back window of my car was not beneficial. That just would not have been helpful to my day. It wouldn't have been beneficial to my clients that I had beforehand planned to see and help that day. It just wasn't beneficial for anyone. So,
Mm.
and it got fixed. It worked out fine. So,
Look at that. Now imagine you would have carried that energy all day, and it would have been fixed, and that energy would have still been with you.
oh my god! Actually, it took a week for it to get fixed. But I mean, that first day, the first couple hours, I was upset. That freaking sucks. I worked hard for my car, but then after a while, I was like, nah, everything's always working out for me. Somehow this will be, somehow it'll be better. And I think after that, everybody else was more worried about it than I was. I was like, it's fine. It'll get
Yeah.
fixed. It's okay. Literally.
Oh, that's dope. That's dope. That's honestly one of the best ways to live, and that's what keeps you youthful and happy. Honestly, and I feel like that right there, that mentality is like the cure for so many different things, whether it's spiritual or physical, because we worry ourselves to death. That's a real thing. Like my sister had some things going on, and she was just so worried about it, and I kept trying to tell her like, look, stop worrying about it, everything is going to be fine, like just chill out, just
Yeah.
relax, right? Go do something to take your mind off it, because the more you think about it, the more it's going to manifest, right? Because
Yes,
that's where your energy is being directed.
exactly.
So take your focus off of it, just do something else. Like, we're helping her redo her kitchen. So I was like, hey, let's do some, let's paint, you know what I'm saying? And I would intentionally do little things just to take her mind off it, like I'll mess up something on purpose just to
Right.
just to shift her mind, her thought
Right.
process,
Here, focus
it's
on
like,
this.
yeah, yeah.
Exactly. Here, look, a bird.
Facts.
Exactly.
And that is key. And that's why I love doing these things, because that's exactly what we're doing here. We're helping to shift the minds of the masses, because everything that is going on right now can be so overwhelming, and it could put you in a state of helplessness and hopelessness.
Yeah.
So whenever you're entering in these type of conversations, it's so uplifting, and it shifts your paradigm, right? Essentially. And you leave so refreshed and revitalized and renewed, and you just feel like you can just conquer your day, and everything is always going to work out in
Right.
your favor. Like, that's gonna be the title of this one. Everything's always working out for me.
Everything's always working out. Like,
Everything.
I say it all the time, and it's so true. Like, is my
Mm,
life going perfect? Heck no. But it's always working out for me. Like, I don't know how else to say that. Like, I say it constantly. It's just always
mm,
working.
mm,
And I think it's because I can look back and see when I was before my healing journey, before I was doing anything, honestly, and I was living subconsciously, things were really bad. Like, stuff got really unfavorable, let me tell you. And to be able
mm,
to look back and be like, well, I got through that and I was subconscious, wasn't aware of anything. Now I am conscious. I try to be as present as possible. And this situation still isn't as bad as what I've been through. So I think I'll be okay. Like, I'm pretty sure this will be fine as long
mm.
as I don't give up.
Right.
That's really as simple as it gets.
As long as you don't give up.
As long as I don't give up,
Mm,
something's going to get figured out. Whether I'm going to figure it out, I'm going to come across somebody else who's going to figure it out, or
mm.
somehow it'll get done. I don't know. Just know it'll be all right.
It's good. Always.
Yeah.
Always. You know what? I like to look at that as like your blessings are loading.
Yeah.
Like, you watch a video or you're playing a game, and it's like there's a loading screen, and there's
Yeah.
just so much, like, just dead space in between that time.
Yeah.
I feel
That's a
like
great
that's
way to put it.
I think that's kind of where everybody is right now, or at least I can speak for me. I feel like that's where I'm at. Like, I feel like it's a loading screen, and it's just all about patience, right? Because it's like all the work that you do, you're probably not going to see it all at once on the front end, right? All the work that you do on the back end,
Mhm.
but it's like you've done all the work that you could possibly do. Now the only thing is left for you to do is just stay in alignment, chill out, and be patient.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Just stay in alignment, just chill out and be patient because everything is going to come to you all at one time. And I'm gonna tell you something, right? I'm gonna tell you a dream I had the other night. It was so vivid.
I love dreams.
Um, I don't know how it started, but I was at my mom's house and I was in her backyard and I was planting a tree. It was two trees, and I was planting one tree, and I did it by myself. And it was what it was. Like I dug the hole, I dug the dirt up or whatever. It was like a little small. It was a pretty good sized tree. It was about the same height as me, a little taller. And I just put it in the ground, put it back on, and I was like, okay, whew, that was a lot of work. And then as I was getting ready to plant this next tree, it was just like a bunch of different people just showed up out of nowhere. Cause I was like, I need help planting this other tree. And then all of a sudden it was just like it was a group of people and I didn't recognize who they were, but they felt like family. Like it was weird. I think it was like maybe like 12 or 20. It was a lot. It was a lot of people for this one tree. And I was asking Ashley in the dream, I was like, hey, where you want to plant this tree at? And she was like, it don't matter. So I just told them like, hey, let's plant it right here. And they did it. They planted the tree and it was so effortless. And then afterwards it was like a celebration for planting that tree. It's like they came together and then it was just like it was like bleachers and they was just celebrating this tree being planted. And I was just so confused, but it felt great. And yeah, I forgot where I was going with this.
That's so funny. I was gonna say it's like being a farmer. Like a farmer plants their seeds, and they're not like the next day, like, ah, well, it didn't grow. This is dumb. I'm gonna give up. Like, no, you have to water it. You have to tend to it. You have to be patient. You have to wait for the process. You have to know that it's coming. You
Mm,
just have to know that it's coming, and it will work out. It will grow as long as you're nourishing it and you have patience and you're giving love. It's gonna come.
mm,
You just have to know that it's gonna come and trust that it's gonna come and
mm.
feel it.
Facts, facts. I feel like that's um, it's the law, it's the principle of rhythm, right?
Mm,
If you study the Kabbalah, it's the principle, it's the law of mentalism, and one of the laws is the principle of rhythm, and it states that everything that flows in flows out, right?
yeah.
So everything that is going out it's essentially going to come back to you tenfold. So anything that you're going through, it's going to be whether it be negative or positive, whatever that you're going through, it's always going to come back to you 10 times or the same, right? So that's kind of what I got from this dream. It was like
Yeah.
you planted this tree and it took a lot for you to just do the first one, right? It took you a lot just to plant that first one. So this second one is going to require something different, right? Because this one is already grown and blossomed into what it's going to be based on your efforts, your hard work. But this one right here, this is going to require group effort. This is going to require not just your effort, but it's going to require the effort of others too, because this is going to be something that everybody gets to reap the benefits of, gets to reap the rewards of. You
Mhm.
know, everything that we're doing right now, even in this moment, is creating and growing that tree, right?
Yeah, facts. It's also
Yeah.
calling on a different version of you, a version of you that says, wow, I've put in all this work. So now I know how the process goes. Let me
Mm-hmm.
ask for help. The help comes. Let me accept the help that has come and still
Mm,
be a part of the process. So
mm,
that's really interesting because dreams are a lot of more about us than other people, right? So I feel like that was a huge for me. If I had that dream, that's exactly where I went on it. I was like, oh, okay, it's time for me to call them in, call in my
mm,
people, and it's time
mm.
for us to put in the work because I've done it. I see the groundwork, and I don't know if you listen to Lil Russell. He talked about
Yeah.
this 444. He talked about this. He could ask somebody to do something. If they say it's going to take 2 weeks, he says it's not going to take me 2 weeks to do it because I know how to do all the things. I'm paying you so that it can get done. I can do something else. But
Mm,
knowing what's going on when you're doing something is super important, so that when you get the help, you can see, okay, this is how I want it, or you can help during that process. If they're helping you and they need a little help, you already know what's going on because you've already laid the foundation. I know what the process looks like. I know what I want it to be. I know how fast I can do it. I know what it looks like when I do it. And just being a part of that process. You planted the tree, so now you know I need to dig the hole. I need to dig it this way. If not, it's gonna lean over this way. So you know the process, so that when you call your people in, it's really a group effort, and it's not just me saying, "Hey, I need help with this," and then I walk away and let you do what's going on. No,
Mm,
it's a team. I'm calling you in to help me, and I'm here to help you as well.
mm. I like that. That's powerful. I like that. And you know
Yeah.
what else? You know what else too? This also speaks to understanding that you don't have all the answers, right?
Yep.
You don't have it all figured out. And I feel like that is where other people come in because they can bring to you different perspectives. Like
Exactly.
you can have all of these things figured out, but at the end of the day, somebody else is going to come in with a different perspective and they're
Yep.
going to be able to elevate what it is that you already have going on. So that's powerful. I like
It is
that.
powerful. That's a dope
Mm,
dream.
it is. My dreams have been very vivid since my diet has changed.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I eat for my blood type now. So
What?
yeah,
I
yeah,
heard
it's
that.
crazy.
Okay.
I had to get rid of a lot of stuff. I'm just like, damn, I can't eat shit.
No, that's real. You'll have to send me
Yeah,
whatever you learned.
I got you. I got
Okay.
you after this.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's dang. And I think that's why when it started, because it's like I started, I've been started this, I
Mhm,
stopped and then I started again.
mhm.
But every time I get back on it, it's like the dreams are more lucid and the vibration is just is more resonant, if that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yep. What is? Wow. I
Yeah.
love that. I think that isn't
Yeah.
that. I don't know if you watch sports or keep up. Kyrie Irving, I think it was the same way. When he changed his diet, that's when he started really getting
Mm.
into the journey, and that's when it really changed for him mentally. What we eat, oh my god, it affects us so much. But we can talk about that at home. We can talk about that another day.
I'm telling you, boy, look here. I had a feeling the other day, right? I didn't mean to, but I literally like fasted for the majority of the day because I left early that morning and I was just out all day pretty much. So I
Right.
didn't eat until like maybe two. All I had was like water. That was it. And I
Mhm.
felt such mental clarity. I was just like, I'm hungry, but at the same time, I can feel like I feel like I'm
Good.
thinking clearer now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Fasting is whoo, that's one of the things that has started me on my journey. Like, and I
mhm.
fast in a way that doesn't even feel like I'm fasting, and it makes it so much easier. Like, I feel like we put so many like limitations on things that we can do that I never thought I could fast. I was like, I love to eat. Like, it's not just not gonna happen. But the way that I fast now is like people would never even you never even know, and it's
Mm,
changed so much for me. I think, like with you, what you said, thinking clearly, the physical aspect of it, um,
yeah.
mentally, it does so many things for you. So yeah,
Tell me, starve the flesh. Starve the flesh.
it's
I got
really
that from Wall Street. Wall Street Trapper. He was talking about it. He said starve the flesh because it creates the discipline within you because we become susceptible to so many different things because of our eating habits. You know? Like we don't realize how much our eating habits play an effect on
mhm,
our all around habits. You know what I mean?
yep,
So once you're able to control what you consume here, you can
yeah.
control what you consume here, everywhere. You know what I mean?
Self discipline is the highest form of self love.
Mm,
Real
mm.
talk.
Yo, once you master discipline, you literally can have anything you want.
It's crazy.
Once you because that's why you're so blessed because you've mastered discipline,
Hell
right?
yes. It
That's
was
why.
a hard one. That was a hard. It's a hard,
Yeah.
especially if you. I mean, yeah, if you weren't taught and you're living subconsciously, you got trauma. that discipline is going to be so hard. You're living through the ego.
Mm,
You're letting your body tell you what it wants, which is, you don't know where it's coming from. Is it coming from trauma? Is it coming from dis-ease? Um,
mm,
is it coming from mental health things that you're unaware of? So that, back to that accountability, intentionality, and creating those little habits of really taking care of yourself are
mm,
so beneficial, because it goes further than just, oh, I've lost weight. It's, oh, now I'm really making better decisions for my life and where
mm,
I want to go and what I want to do and what I want to be in this life that we're living. Um,
mm.
so it goes so much deeper than just the exterior, for sure.
Facts, facts. I like the phrase that if you give somebody permission to feed you, you give them permission to starve you too.
Ooh, me too.
I like that. So that's why I say fasting is important, because if somebody is offering something to you and you know you haven't eaten in a while, and that could be, that could be metaphorically, that could be realistically or whatever.
Right.
But if you haven't eaten in a while and somebody just offers you whatever it is and you just take it, that
Mm,
means that you've given them permission to also starve you as well.
yep.
That goes with information, that goes with food, that goes with anything spiritual. Like, you really give people the permission to dictate your outcomes in life. And it's so powerful when you can become a sovereign being and really just take control of your reality. Like, this journey that me and Ashley have been on has really, spoken to our sovereignty, because we are literally creating our own reality. And a lot of people don't understand like what we're doing, but it's
Mhm.
only because they've never understood what it meant to be free truly. They never understood what it meant to really take ownership and govern yourself as an entity, right?
Mhm.
So this really is a testament to a lot of people who are willing to do the things that other people are uncomfortable with doing. You know what I mean?
Facts. The people that love being uncomfortable now.
Mm, facts.
Okay with being uncomfortable. I love when it doesn't matter what I'm doing and I get to say no to something that I know at one point I wouldn't have been able to say no to.
Mm,
Oh man, food is a big one.
yeah, yeah. What's what's
Culturally, like that's hard.
it is? I gotta ask. What's that one food that you just like? Look, I know I said what I said, but I gotta have it. I'm sorry if I see it. I got to have it.
Oh, that's really hard. Mexican food, like that's hard.
That's a lot. That's very very.
I'm just gonna keep it at that. I love it so much.
Yeah.
And I know it's because it's a cultural thing. It's like it reminds me of family, of like where I come from and like those old memories. I am very aware of
Mm,
why I feel the way I do about it. Um, and I've gotten so much better at being like, not today.
mm,
Maybe on a day where I am feeling a little reckless. Like I give myself that time. Because I don't think that I'm going to be perfect. I do require a lot of myself, but I do give myself that room to,
mm.
I don't know, indulge. I don't know.
Yeah.
Not always, but when I do, um, I do make time for that just because it feels good.
Mm,
But when I can say no, which is way more than I used to be able to, it feels so good. And then it makes it that much more rewarding when I do go out and intentionally go get something. I don't know. That's random.
nah, that's tough though.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie.
That's a good question. Ooh, what is it for you?
So, two things. Lately, I've been falling in love with like Caribbean food. I just love it. It's like, I don't
Mm,
know why. I've been obsessed since I got down here, and I think it's only because it's like they're everywhere, and I'm just like, let me just try it. And they're the only ones that really stay open late too. So I'm just like, cool. Let's just give it a try.
pop in.
Yeah, but I'm lately have become obsessed with it. I do. In moderation. You know, I do
Right.
eat it in moderation because it can
Right.
be a little heavy. But
Exactly.
man, Caribbean food, I love it. I love it. I think it's speaking to my roots, right? But the one food that I will say that gets me every time is cheesecake.
That's
Every time. I'm sorry.
great. He's
If I, yo, I'm telling you, I love cheesecake. I don't know why. I have an obsession with it. It's my favorite kind of cake. And if I find out any place I go to has it, yo, immediately I
a
gotta.
wrap. Go ahead and bring me a slice.
I'm telling you, I don't care. Diet, nah, forget that. No, let's get some cheesecake.
Oh, that's so funny. That's real though.
Yeah.
We would be lying if we sat here and said, "Oh no, I make all these great decisions. I always put wonderful things in my body." Like, what? That's not
No,
realistic. Come on now,
nah, nah.
you gotta
Come
be
on.
honest.
We're still human at the end of the day, man.
I like food.
For real. Mexican food, dang, I love Mexican food. I ain't gonna lie. Golly. What's your number one favorite? We're gonna talk about something else, but I gotta know what's like your number one favorite dish.
Enchiladas.
Mm,
Like,
mm.
period. That's it. Well, beans and rice, like just at the simplest, like beans and rice, like I'm in
Mhm.
there.
Facts.
I'm not saying no to that. What?
Nah, what? Of course not.
Why
Beans
would
and rice go with everything.
I? Okay. Okay, I'm trying to tell you. Yeah. What's your for Mexican food? What would be your
Man, oh man, that's tough. Cause I love all of it. I ain't gonna lie.
okay? It's like so many
Like
options.
I know I like all of it. I ain't gonna lie. Um, golly, man, I can't say my number one favorite though. I really can't. Cause okay, if I had to choose,
Okay.
if I had to choose one that I could eat for the rest of my life,
Okay.
I forgot how to say it. Uh, dang, I forgot what it was like. Cause it was like it had like cream cheese, it had spinach, and it was like a chicken. It's like I forgot what it was called. God, I forgot what it was called.
Okay.
Yeah, but that it'd be
Okay.
that. Yeah,
Okay. Shoot. As
like
long
pollo de creme or something like that.
I'm sure it was fire, whatever it was.
Yeah, it was spot on.
Okay. I love it. But that's real.
Yeah, for sure. But speaking of foods, though, let's talk about the power of no. Right, the
Okay.
power of just saying no and just being and standing firm on it. I will say that it took me some years before I actually started to just say no and just let it be that,
Mm-hmm.
because I always felt like I had to explain why I was saying no to certain things or certain people or certain events. But now I'm at this point, well, for years now, I've been at this point where it's just like, if it's a no in my heart, then it's just no. I don't care why. I don't need to give you a reason. I'm just, nah, I'm good. I'm straight. I ain't doing it. Point blank, period.
I'm one of those people. It don't even got to be in my heart. It could be on my shoulder. A no in my shoulder. No, thank you. No. But I
Just
think
no.
I've been blessed with my parents never really forced me to do things that I didn't really want to do.
Mm,
Also, I cried when I was little, so it was easier for them to be like, "Okay, fine, no, you don't have to do it." So,
mm,
like all throughout my life, like I've never really had a problem with saying no to people. Like if it was something I didn't want to do, if I wanted
mm,
to help, I think sometimes that would be different. But me just doing whatever for people just because they asked, I think that's one thing that has been super beneficial. I'm super thankful that I've been able to hold strong on that. No,
mm.
no, no, no. Sorry,
so,
no.
so that was something that you just kind of like you developed over time, or that's something that you just already had as a child growing up.
Yeah, basically, I've always been very, very honest. So if you're like, Alicia, do you want to do this? Do you want to come with us to do this? Not really? No, I wouldn't lie to you. So no. And I think
Mm,
people are all my life. People were pretty accepting of that. Like,
hmm.
you can tell me I need to do
Okay.
it. You want me to? But that's also because I'm consistent with it. Like, if I don't want to do it, I'm not going to do it.
Mm,
So when I do say yes, it's because I want to. I
mm,
have the time. I feel like I am able to, and I'm not overextending myself. Yeah, sure.
hmm.
But
That's powerful.
it took a long time to develop that skill.
Yeah, yeah. I think that a couple of combinations came from my end. It was doing things, being told to do things that I really didn't want to do.
Hmm.
Like as a kid, your parents just tell you what to do, even if it doesn't feel right. They're just like, no, do it anyway, or
Hmm.
go and hang out with this person even though you didn't want to, or it was just always just telling me what to do and not me having the ability to just be
Choice.
like, yeah, like I don't want to. And I think that kind of turned me into like a people pleaser, like during my
Mhm.
high school years, because I always wanted to make sure that people were happy and good or whatever the case is. And it led me down a certain path that wasn't really beneficial to me. So, you know, I guess after from a couple of years, I got out of high school. I was angry for a long time.
Now
I
what
was
happened?
angry. It was like, yo, what's wrong with you? I was just mad. I was just fighting and shit, just doing stuff. Like,
Aw.
and so I got on this journey and then I started to find peace within myself. And so now I just started to just be like, nah, I'm good. Right. But it took time. It took time because there was still some of those traits within me. So it was just got to the point now where it's just like, if it's a no, then it's a definite no. Right. Even then, even still though, I still have these like moments where I do want to help people and make sure they're good. But I always look at myself first to be like, okay, is this going to be a detriment to me?
That was
Right?
the exact word I was thinking. Detriment. Is it detriment to me? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can't
Is
be.
it? It can't. It really can't. You can't overextend. You can extend a helping hand, but if there's nothing you can do, there's just nothing you can do.
Right.
Right? If they don't appreciate the effort that you put in, then that's just what it is. And I think that comes down to being okay with not being liked, right?
Right. That's what I was gonna say. It's super beneficial when you first meet people, like in new job, new social setting. That first no is
Mm,
super important because it lets people know automatically. Oh, you're not just gonna say yes to everything. Okay,
mm,
so you have to get used to that or be okay with that beginning phase of might be a little uncomfortable when you tell people no when
mm,
you first meet someone or you first get into a group setting where they're like, okay, well, hey, Alicia, can you do this? I could, but I don't want to. Like, don't count on me to do that. I'm gonna tell you right now, it's not gonna get done. Like, letting people know at the beginning from the jump, so that way there isn't that expectation of, oh, Alicia's always gonna say yes. She's always willing to help. No, I'm not. I'm not.
mm,
I can't. It's not
mm,
realistic to me in my life and what I got going on to always be ready and available for someone else. That's not realistic. And that's not going to help me do anything. Now, are
mm,
there phases where I feel really good where I can say yes for a long period of time? Absolutely. But that no is it's coming. That no,
mm.
trust me. It's coming up. Just wait for it.
That nose
I
on the
think
way.
that beginning part of especially when you're getting to know people. If you've already known them, that's a little bit harder because they're like, "Oh, you always help me." Like that's crazy. But setting those boundaries. My boundaries are for me, they're not for you. It's so that
Mm,
I can take care of myself in enough ways that I am able to then go out and extend myself. But if I ain't got it, baby, I ain't got it.
facts.
I can't force it.
Facts. Facts.
That beginning phase of meeting people in groups and things is very important to set that tone of do you have it in you to say yes or no right now? And if it's
Mm,
no, let it be no. It is okay.
mm. And you know what though? I think that makes you a really good friend
Thanks.
because that makes you a really good friend because you're always going to be honest with people. You're never just going to go along with it. And you're going to tell them like, "Hey, look, this is probably not a good idea. You shouldn't go along with it either."
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. 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 I am very honest with my friends, and my friends, I freaking love my friends. They're very real too, and they're like, oh, well, she don't want to do it, so you can't make her. The one thing about me, everybody knows, you cannot force me to do anything I don't want to do.
Mm,
But if I'm doing it, it's because I got it and I am ready to give.
that's powerful.
I'm a lover.
I ain't gonna lie. I had to delete a mass majority of my friend group,
Oh wow.
um, because the intention wasn't right anymore.
Yeah.
And so I just had to, yeah, I had to excommunicate myself. I had to just like, okay, nah, I
When
can't
you
do this.
do that, do you have a conversation, or is it just like a you sat with yourself and was like, I think
I did.
then.
Um, I sat with myself. Honestly, I sat with myself, and I really just was saying like, okay, are these the kind of friends that I really want in my life? Are these the kind of relationships that I want in my life? And is anything gonna change? Like, is the respect there? Because I know that, after you've developed a certain relationship with people, they're gonna perceive you how they perceive you, right?
Right.
They're not gonna look at this new version of you that you've been working on and treat you as that newer version. So I would say I distanced myself like gradually, and
Hmm.
I went and worked on myself. And I guess I started to exhibit like changes, like, I started to grow and evolve, and I was moving in a different direction. And so I seen that, my friends, they were moving, my former friends, they were moving in a different direction from the direction I was moving in. And so it wasn't really a conversation, and it wasn't no ill will either. It was just like, well, you're moving this way, I'm moving this way. It just is what it is. So, it wasn't no like no bad blood or nothing like that. But I already knew like I wanted a different type of friend group, right? I
Hmm.
wanted something different. And I knew that in order to get that, it wasn't gonna happen in these certain environments or in these certain groups. So I did. And I just went on this journey, because I already knew like there was always gonna be people that are gonna come into my life that are resonant with the journey that I'm on. So I never really had that worry. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. For
Yeah.
sure.
Have you ever had to do something like that?
Um, Honestly, I mean, yes, but not like where I had to go out and do it. Most of the time for me, it kind of happens organically, where I think
Hmm.
both of us kind of realize it and we just like slowly, there's just a space. So
Mm.
I don't think I've ever, not that I can think of, just organically people come, people go. Like it just, I just let life flow how it flows, Bar,
Hmm.
whatever.
That's lit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. No, yeah, it just happens organically for me. And but you know what? The love that I had for them and the relationship that we had is always going to be there. You can access that. Like I said, that you can access that at any time. And I
Mm.
do too. Sometimes when I'm having a moment, I'm like, oh, I remember this time in my life. Oh, I remember this person was there. This person was there. Wow, they really helped me this one time when they said this or they did this or they really helped develop this part of me at that time, which is what I needed. Um, so I think looking back on those relationships, sometimes it's okay. People really struggle to let people go, but it's like it's so okay. Let
Mm.
them go live their life and just hope that they are doing wonderful. And you go off and do the same, and then hope that maybe they think about you every now and then. Are like, oh, I hope Alicia's doing well. I am. I hope you're doing well. Like
Yeah.
it's so simple. We grasp onto people and we're like, well, you're mine, so I have to keep you forever. No,
Mm.
let that little birdie go be free and fly away. Stop playing with me.
Facts. You know what's funny though? I will say this, right? This is how I knew that the whole friendship thing was kind of like, creating distance. The
Hmm.
last real conversation that we had, they was saying like they were sorry that they weren't a better friend to me, because I was the type I would always give. I would always give, even at my own detriment. I would always just give. I make
Hmm.
sure that everybody was taken care of, and I was always the last one. And I did that for years. And
Yeah.
so, as we got older, it was just like, damn, I really wasn't a good friend to you. And the people around them would always say that, like, I hope that he's a good friend to you like you are to him. So it was just like, yeah, it was just that time. And that was the last real convo. Well, one of the last real conversations that we had. So it was just like, well, it's no ill will, but that's just how it went.
That's so interesting.
Yeah, yeah. So, um, kind of going back to what we talked about before, right? As far as like the power of no and stuff like that. Do you feel like you've ever had like a villain era, like an era where you were just like,
That is so interesting. So me and my sisters just had a conversation yesterday about a villain era.
mm,
I don't I don't know because I've always been so like I'm there. What's up? That didn't stop anybody from seeing you. I've always been one of those people who's like very honest, and I really didn't mind if it. Not that if it hurt your feelings, but like if you ask me a question, I'm gonna answer it honestly. Whether or not that hurts your feelings is literally on you.
mm,
You shouldn't ask me the question. And if you wanted a certain answer, you should have told me beforehand because I didn't know.
mm,
Um, so whether or not I've been the villain, I don't think so because I've always just been me. I feel like a lot of people go through a villain era when they start setting boundaries. They start being honest with people. They start saying no. Um, I've always been doing those things. Not that I'm like great and don't like make mistakes and things like that. But those things I've always kind of had. So it's like if I'm a villain, it depends on the person and the story in which they believe went on. But I
yeah,
don't think that I've had a villain era. I've had eras where I was um, not kind to myself, but not so much for other people. I don't think so.
mm,
Um, I don't know. I really don't think so, but everybody's different.
yeah, yeah.
So
Nah,
what about you? Oh, well, I mean, you said you went through yours when you were
I mean, I
grade.
wouldn't really say that was that kind of era.
Uh-huh. It's
Um,
hard when you're like, I'm actually really kind and nice.
yeah,
Oh, what
like
is your villain?
yeah, like I've never really played that role before, but I've had people around me play that role, and they do it so effortlessly. So I always wonder, like, bro, how can you be so heartless like that?
I
Like
know.
I think about other people so much to where it's like, damn, I don't want to do this to you. You know what I'm
Impact
saying?
through. Even if I'm telling you off, I'm doing
Yeah.
it in such a kind. I'm still doing it in a kind way. Like, hey,
Mm,
this is a problem. I'm not gonna stand for it. It's
mm,
probably something we should be working on. But I don't think like I don't. Yeah,
yeah.
I've never been like, "Ugh, I'm
You think
back
you
like
need to
this
though?
for this." Like I don't.
You think that's necessary though? You think that's needed?
The villain era
Yeah.
for some people, yeah, absolutely,
Mm,
absolutely. For them to see, because I know a lot of people pleasers. Well, I know one specifically, a people pleaser who they really struggled with. Why are people not treating me the way that I know I deserve to be treated?
mm,
Oh, it's me. I'm not setting boundaries. I'm not telling them how I need to be treated and holding firm on that. So then everybody in their life is used to them being this one way, like we were talking about. So now we start setting boundaries, we start saying no. And that is what a villain era comes from the
mm,
people who couldn't do these things before. And now all of a sudden they are. And it's like a complete flip where it's like, no, I'm not. I'm not
mm,
accepting this treatment anymore because now I have boundaries and I'm saying no to things that don't serve me. And that's where the villain era comes from, and not everybody has that thing they need to work through. So, but yes, I feel like it is necessary for you to snap and be like, not snap on people, but like snap and turn it around and be like, no, I have boundaries now. I have very specific ways I would like to be treated, and if you're not willing to do that, then guess we don't need to be exchanging energy anymore. So
mm,
that's very necessary for some people
mm,
because it gives them that power they didn't realize they had before.
mm.
It comes down though. They start to come down after a while. I've noticed. So
Yeah,
it is
yeah.
very necessary. They're like, all right, nah, I can come back. I can be.
Now, honestly though, I would say like the era I did go through, it wasn't really villainous. It was more like just understanding because I was just angry, but it wasn't controlled. And I
Yeah,
feel like during the villain era, it's like a controlled anger, right?
exactly.
It's very like, just you're in control. you understand what's going on and you understand the type of energy that you want to bring. Like, I was watching a video. Matter of fact, no. Before I even talk about that, you said something earlier, right?
Okay.
Before, where you said like people like lash out. Like, have you ever had to like just lash out at somebody, just like just not almost uncontrollably, like just lash out, just cuss somebody out, just
Yes. One time. Oh my gosh. It
yeah,
was X. And I'm not a yeller. I don't cuss people out. I don't
yeah.
like violence. Nothing of the matter.
Mm.
And for the first time ever, I had to cuss this man out. Like,
Let's not go back there.
just thinking about it takes me back to a place I don't like to go. But I think it was just a karmic situation where he was sent to push every one of my buttons, and he was pressing them. And it took me to a place that I've never been, never wanted to be at. Um, and just the things I said to him and the way that I spoke and the words that I used, after I said it was like two sentences, I'm not gonna lie. Afterwards, I was like, I need you to leave. Like,
Mm,
you need to get the fuck out of my house right now. Like, you need to go. Because this is not it. We are
mm,
not doing this. I'm not being a part of this at all. Um, it was very scary. Um, I didn't like it. If I ever want to, or if I'm ever being intimidated or anything, it's more of an energy thing for me. It's almost never about the words that I use with someone.
mm,
More about my aura and the energy I'm giving off. Like, I need you to get away from me
mm,
right now. But the words that I used, it was really eye opening.
mm.
Really taught me a lot about myself and holding boundaries and red flags. We don't skip past red flags in the beginning anymore because
Right.
it's a very specific situation. It taught me a lot about myself. So I do think people being in those modes, only if you're able to self reflect on them and say, why did I react this way? What was it about this situation that made me go to that place that I don't like to be in, or that I'm often in? Why am I often in this state where I'm going off on people and I'm angry and I'm speaking to people in this way? Um, that self reflection of, why is this happening? How did we get here? Is
Mm.
super important, because I'm never going back there again. That was crazy.
That's wild.
Yeah, it was wild. It,
Mm. I don't. Well,
I know it's
yeah,
hard. You're like, that's why I'm like, one time, never happen again.
yeah. Nah, I've only popped off like that maybe once or twice because I'm not that type of person. You know what I
Ex-
mean?
exactly.
So I don't yell. Like, I don't have like a really loud voice. So I don't like to yell at all as it is, because this is like, if I start yelling, I don't think you're gonna take me seriously.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna punch you in your face. Because if you hear me yell, I'm just like, nah, fuck that. I'm just going, nah. It's just fuck it.
Right.
There was only one time that's ever happened, and after that, I was just like, yeah, nah, I
It was
can't do
whack.
this.
It was
I
whack
can't I can't keep going on like this. But that just taught me that there are just certain environments that I don't need to be in.
at all. Ooh, this is not
Yeah.
for. Let me get out of here. Like,
Yeah, like let me just exit before this shit gets worse.
exactly.
Somebody gets locked up.
Exactly.
Yeah, but those are all just learning lessons. Um,
Sure.
there was a video that I saw that kind of spoke to what we talked about. It
Hmm.
was an old video by 19 Keys, and he was at this Starbucks, and he was just basically just doing what he does best. And so he was just talking, right? Just talking to the people on live. And some white guy was right beside him. And he was like, how much longer are you gonna be here? And he was like, however fucking long I want to. And I was just like, that brought me back to another time. And I was just like, I remember doing that. I remember just popping off at the mouth. Just if anybody said anything, I would just like just quick,
Hmm.
just say something back. And I feel like that's necessary to a degree, because you gotta be able to set boundaries in a proper way. I'll send it to you so you can see what I'm talking about. But
Okay.
I just think that's important to make sure that people know what line not to cross. Because
Mhm.
I've done that so many times where I never set the line of where not to cross. And so now it's like when I see that line crossed, I immediately snap. It's not a bad way, but I just let people know like, hey, whoa, hey, don't cross that line. Look, I fuck with you, but hey, don't cross that line with me.
I'm
Right?
with you, but I still come first over here, so let's cool it a little bit.
Facts. Facts.
I think that's why it's good for people to really do that shadow work. Come back to that shadow work, get that journal, I guess,
Mm-hmm.
and really understanding you. We develop these characteristics and habits and things because at one point they protected us.
Mm,
They made us feel safe, but we kept them in situations we didn't need them in. So learning, doing that shadow work, understanding your shadow self, so that you can merge your shadow and your light, and you know when to use those habits and characteristics that at one point were beneficial to keeping you safe. So
mm,
now I have more control of, oh, this might be a little bit of a shadow moment where my no has to come out a little bit more aggressive because you're not understanding my boundaries.
mm,
And my boundaries is not something I'm okay with um, giving leeway on. So I might have to access a different part of me for this particular situation. Then when
mm,
that situation is over, I can go back to the way that I would like to be, or back into my light mode, or however I'm wanting to be. But sometimes you gotta access that shadow self.
mm.
Not all the time, but there are moments when it's needed. It's
Nah,
needed sometimes.
facts, facts.
How
You
about you?
know, one thing I found, right, aside from journaling that's really helped is boxing. Like,
Yeah, the physical activity.
man, look here. I took a boxing class. This was years ago. This was
Mhm.
about maybe 3 years ago. I took a boxing class, and boy,
Felt good.
it felt great. Those folks was looking at me kind of like, damn, he got a lot of energy.
You good?
Like this is his first day here. It was just like, cause most people their first day, it's just like after that first like round, cause they do like these group classes, and they
Hmm.
have you doing like these different like boxing exercises, and after that first, they do like I think three rounds, and each round is like maybe 40 minutes or something like that,
Hmm.
with little small interval breaks. But I just kept going, and it was just like, damn, he got a lot of energy.
They're like, hey, it's time to take a break.
Yeah, like I was just in there. I was zoned in. I was just like, okay, yeah, I like this.
I
But
love that.
facts. And that's another way. Like journaling is great, but exercising that shadow too, it,
Physically getting it out. Yes,
yeah, is so important.
absolutely. Oh, shadow
I,
work.
I gotta ask though, have
Yes.
I know we're still kind of getting to know each other, but have I crossed any boundaries?
No. I'm one of those people. If you cross the boundary, I'm gonna let you know.
Mm,
I'm gonna let you know. Yeah, no, you haven't even come close.
bet.
Like, I feel like I put myself in situations where people, it's hard for people to cross my boundaries because just the way that I am. First of all, I'm very free flowing. Like, really don't care what's going on.
Right.
Most of my boundaries are just around like respect and the way in which people speak to me. Um,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, but no. What about me? Have I crossed any?
Nah.
Oh,
Uh-uh.
cool.
And,
Sometimes I'll like text you and I'm like, oh, it's too late to be texting him. I probably should wait till the morning.
yeah.
But other than that, I think maybe I'm doing all right.
Yeah, same. I do sometimes be wondering like the way I be texting. I be like, I hope this don't come off wrong. You
Right.
know?
The texting is a big one because
Yeah,
it doesn't translate that well sometimes.
yeah,
Especially like
yeah.
because I text the way that I talk, but the way that I talk, the tone matters more than the words I'm using.
Right,
So the word can be kind of said in a different way, and it's like, well, I didn't mean it that way. Please.
right. Like it's like texting is kind of iffy sometimes because you never know how the other person's gonna take it. So it's like, I'll just send it anyway.
Right. I'll send you a voice note.
Facts, facts. I like to one thing I like to do, right, as I'm getting to know people, and this is just what I've grown into the culture of, is like like Joan talking shit and stuff or whatever the case is. And I'm really careful with that, like joking on
Mhm,
people with people, because I know that not everybody is a jokester. Not everybody likes to be the end of a joke,
mhm,
right?
mhm.
So are you that kind of person? Like once you get to know somebody, do you like joke, or like what's that process like for you? Or do you mind people who talk shit to you a little bit?
I don't mind people talking shit to me. I am not really a shit talker, if that makes sense. Like it's
Hmm.
different. Like we're in like a group setting and somebody does something silly and then like I repeat it type of thing. Like I'll do that, but I don't like the way that it makes me feel when if I did that to someone else. I don't mind if people do it to me. I do goofy stuff all the time. Like, let them talk about me. It's probably hilarious, honestly. But me saying it about someone else, no, I don't. But I've always been that way. I just don't like how it feels. Maybe I'm too sensitive. I don't know. But
Hmm.
I'm not sensitive because I don't mind people talking about me. I just don't like. I don't want people to think that that's how I feel about them. I guess I'm just very
Right.
conscious of that part of it, if that makes sense.
Nah, that makes sense.
So,
I honestly, I only say that because like since I've been in the military, that's really what a lot of people do.
oh,
It's
for
just
sure, I've already known.
we off the rip, like you don't even know each other, and we just like
I
just
bet.
going at it. It's like, bro, whoa. You would think like we got beef, but now it's just that's just how we get along.
Day two, sir, please.
Yeah. But we come up in these environments, and it's just like that's just what it is. Like some of the environments we be in, they be hostile, but we're not hostile to each other. It's
Right.
just how we reciprocate. That's just how we talk. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, for sure.
like I,
And
I know.
like it's a really regular thing, especially like culturally. Like people of color tend to. That's how we show love. Like, oh,
Mhm.
goofy dude. Like, look at this dude. I don't like. It's so.
Yeah.
It comes so natural. Like I can go blow for blow with somebody because
Mm,
that's the environments we grew up in. It's how we show love. It's how we're saying, "Hey, I see you. I see your flaws. I fuck with you anyways." You know.
facts.
Most of the time, it's very warm and inviting. Sometimes people go too far, and you're like, I need to.
Yeah.
You sound like a hater.
Facts. Like, oh, okay. All right.
Right.
Motherfucker. But
Right.
yeah, man, that's dope.
Yo. That's real.
Facts. It really do be like that. It's like, okay.
Well, you give him that side eye, like, all right, I'm watching you now.
All right. Like, oh, that's how you feel, huh? Oh, all
Exactly.
right. Fucking weirdo. But anyways, oh man, that's funny.
Oh man, I love it. I love it. I love it.
So we're an hour. We're a little over an hour in now.
Yeah.
This has been. Anything else? Any remarks? You got anything else to say?
Invest Fest. I'm so excited.
Yo, Invest Fest. Oh man, I am so excited for this, bro. I don't look. I've been saying this all week, right? I don't know what it is Investments has to offer, but I just know that once I get into the room, I will be directed exactly where I need to be.
That's exactly what I've been saying. I'm like, I have no idea. My friend has been, and he's like, it's gonna be a great time, it's a great experience. So I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. But I think it's gonna be better than that. So, anyways, like
Uh,
I'm re- I'm ready. I'm just so excited. Look, see how he's lighting up? That's how I'm lighting up for Invest Fest.
Facts.
I'm so excited.
Facts. Yo, I saw this video. I saw one of the it was a live. I think it was just Monday that just passed, or just Tuesday, or whatever. But yeah, Steve Harvey came on and he was just like, they was talking about InvestFest, and he was just like, look, just come in with an open heart and an open mind, and just be ready to learn and take notes, bring your business to and network with people. Like that's what this whole thing is about. It's just networking with people, meeting people that are similar to you, because I'll be honest, since we've been here in Georgia, we haven't really met a lot of people who are our age or who are doing the things that we're doing or entrepreneurial,
Hmm.
unless they're older, and they already then lived their life, then got established and stuff like that, which is cool. But it's cool when you get to meet people who are your age, who are younger, who are doing what it is that you're doing, or doing it at a higher level, because it just creates that synergy. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to meeting whoever I meet.
excited to meet you. What am I talking about?
Yeah. Facts.
God,
Facts.
excited.
Yeah. This is gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, and we'll be recording. We can do little skits and stuff, right?
Oh yeah. It's gonna be some content creation, definitely.
Fun. I'm excited.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. But thank y'all so much for tuning in. This has been another present, and I hope that you enjoyed this gift that we have presented to you. Right? Bars, bars. That might be a thing now. That
That
might
was
be a thing.
great. I hope you enjoyed this gift
Mm,
of being present with Paulizè and Lisha. And Lisha.
mm, I like it. I love it. That's dope. Thank y'all for being here with us. Thank y'all for allowing us to be here with y'all. We do better when we grow together. So let's continue to grow one another. And um, yeah, tune in next. Ooh, hey, person.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
tune in.
Yep. Self love,
Mm,
gratitude is the attitude.
mm,
Let's keep it going. Find your inner light, shine it into this existence we're all sharing.
yeah, facts. Just like the background. Shine your inner light. Tell you, shine bright. Hey, look. Check us out on all of our other social media platforms. You can check me out on TikTok, Instagram. At yeah, you can catch.
111. I love it. 111. Haha. Thank you.
So,
Have a good day.
appreciate you being here. But you can check us out on all of our various social medias at Paulizè Anthony, TikTok, Instagram, fan base, everything at Paulizè Anthony, even here on Facebook. I mean on YouTube. Check us out there. Use the link in the description to check out all the various things that we have going on. It's a lot. It's a good bit. Got a course coming out. Got a clothing store. I have a drop shipping store as well, which you can check out in the description on all of my platforms. And yeah, what about you?
Yeah, Alicia710 on Instagram, Lil Sweet Tea on TikTok. Um,
Yes,
Also, Empathy Empire. My store is up.
sir.
Got some new shirts on. I think one or two new shirts on there. So be looking out for some more of those.
Mm,
What is it? Alicia Catherine on Facebook. I don't really post on there much, but I'm working on my social media right now. So right now, TikTok and Instagram is where you can find me though, for
mm.
sure.
Nah,
Both Alicia Catherine and Empathy Empire. So I'm really excited to be working with everybody. Honestly, I think I figured out I would love to be called like a gratitude guide or something like that. Like I feel like that sounds really
a
cool.
gratitude guide.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I know that's so random.
Gratitude guide. Hmm. That's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. I like to look at you as like a love enthusiast.
I love that too. I'll take all the names.
Right.
I'll have like a big like badge that just has like multiple names on it. Gratitude gal. I'll take that one too. I'll put it on my list.
That's dope. I like that. I like that.
But yeah, super grateful to be here. Thank you so much for being in this present moment with us. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. And thank you for being in this present moment with me as well.
All
All
right.
right.
Until next
Until
week.
next time. Peace. Oh, wait. Hey, wait. Okay, so check this out. We got to do a thumbnail.
Okay.
So just that works. Yeah, that works.
I'm like,
That
I'm ready.
works.
I'm ready.
All right, y'all. We out. Peace.